Well, the difference between cats and dogs, cats don't wag their tail like a dog, and yes, they do. Sometimes they do. They don't go. Oh no, they don't do that. And they don't sit and go. And they don't fetch balls as well as dogs.
One's got a waggy tail and a cold nose, and the claws are like totally contracted all the time, whereas the other one contract their claws and it's got sharper teeth and pointed ears.
Which one's which?
The cats are the ones with contracted jaws and sharp teeth and the sharp pointed ears.
Excuse me. I think I'm an oddity. I've got a foot in both camps, really, and I appreciate either animal for very different qualities.
I like dogs better than cats, though.
I don't.
They seem to be more friendly somehow. Dogs like greet you, whereas cats just sit, they can sleep for so long. No.
Cats can appear to be lazy, but I don't think they are.
They have big claws, like bears, and they look like bears.
They just sit about all day and get fed and go meow, 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 meow.
I find cats, they claw the carpet a lot. They're a complete nuisance, actually.
Meow, meow, meow.
I think you get more out of a dog in response.
Well, they're more
Like,
interesting, aren't
I
they?
think they're thicker than cats, personally.
Do you?
I do.
Meow, 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 meow. And I go, shut up.
I used to be a chaser myself, but I mean, it's about what?
It's all about competitiveness, you know what I mean? You see these blokes and like I said, they've been let off a lead. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
and
like,
then like,
it's like
it's just more than life, man.
Watching hounds after a hare, you know what I mean? It's just...
I've been bitten by dogs, I've been bitten by cats, I've been bitten by... Oh, you name it, I'll claim it.
Once I was walking past a house and the door suddenly flew open and a dog with a head the size of Albania jumped out, and its teeth were an inch away from my face and its mouth was so big I could have lived inside that mouth quite comfortably, and I was nearly killed.
I've been chased by a Great Dane, a slavering big thing, and it frightened me. I've been bitten by a beagle. I've been chased by an old English sheepdog, which was, I would say that was a springboard into me becoming a Christian.
Mm. You always say dogs come sniffing at your private parts.
Do I?
That's one thing you always say.
Well, they told me they're not, that they're just being affectionate.
Dogs wag their tails to get the smell of their farts away, and the cat just walks around with its tail in the air.
Dogs I like very much because of their great intelligence and loyalty generally, and just so animated and, you know, great chums.
I don't think I've ever had fleas. I think the closest I ever got was scabies, and that was quite bad enough. You would entirely cover your body from head to toe with this alcohol solution. And there was always this sort of nagging doubt that some part of your anatomy would catch light like a fuse, and it would just be an enormous blue puff.
I think the best thing to do is to put on some flea powder, which you get from the vet. But it's probably not a good idea to have a good scratch, because that makes it red and raw and a bit rough and everything.
You know, I've never had any breed that's been a kind of a pampered, you know, pooch. You know,
they breed these mutant dogs, don't they, and give them awards for how mutated they look. And if it's a perfect mutant, it's got a pedigree. But if you crossbreed it with another mutant, it's called a mongrel.
Most pedigree dogs, to get them perfect, they've got things wrong with them. It's either the bull terrier or the bulldog can hardly breathe because they bred into them, that flattened face. It's a bulldog, innit? And a lot of the breeds have suffered when they show a cross.
They look ridiculous with silly bowls. Looks stupid.
I'm certainly a loyal companion, but I have to say I've been let down a lot too in my life. I might be very loyal, but I do like my father said before me. He said, you trust everybody once. And that's what I do. I trust everybody once, no matter who they are. So I'm loyal to the point of disloyalty.
Cats, on the other hand, they are the clever ones. They give humans nothing.
I'm not a cat person. No, they're not loving enough, and they hiss a bit, and they don't do anything. They just wee all over the garden and leave brown stains all over the grass and just make a nuisance of themselves.
I've defecated outside, of course I have. You know what I mean?
If you step in dog mess, then it's not very hygienic, and it's not very it's just not nice.
You kind of get an antennae. The slightest thing, kind of, boop, 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 boop. You know what's going on over there? Sidestep it. And if you can't sidestep it, make sure you come through it.
Because at the end of the day, cats, when they go to the toilet, they clean up and they cover up after them. And that has got to be a sign of higher intelligence.
That's a dirty, filthy business, and that ought to be stopped totally.
But I think dogs are more, for a start, I think they smell more. Whereas a cat, you can leave a cat to it. Whereas with a dog...
Yeah, but if you've got a burglar coming in your house, at least a dog makes a noise.
Yeah, but you could throw the cat at the burglar.
That's a silly thing to say. Dogs are more interesting, and that's the end of it.
No, it's not the end of it.
We'll just have to agree to disagree then.
And I've got a lovely smile, as my mum says. So, I look good for my age too.
No. No. No, I think I'm... No.
I'd like to be a bird.
I don't know, something like an Andean condor. Lots of space, you know, sort of...
Big birds of prey, something like that.
Soaring above the mountains and just looking down and looking for your dinner.
Nice big albatross.
No, Mike, being reincarnated as a sparrow.
And birds go. There we go.
I like to put food out for them,
Bread or
especially in the
nuts.
winter, because you see them in the trees and they're sort of looking a bit nonplussed, aren't they? But I put one of those peanut things out recently thinking I was doing them a good turn, and it was like 10 weeks later, there was no visible sign of any nut disappearing, and I thought, well, what's this all about? I don't know.
Had you opened the bag?
Well, you don't open the bag, do you? They're supposed to go through the bag, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think bland comes into our eating. We're definitely, what would you say, gourmets or gourmands, whichever word it is. We like to indulge and enjoy the food, really.
And I think probably there's a good variety in what we eat. Thai, Indian, Chinese, French, Italian.
Yeah, whatever.
Traditional British.
As long as it tastes good, I'll eat it, really.
And the best of all, of course, is duck.
The only thing you can do is not to make eye contact, of course. As soon as you make eye contact, it just has you. I think it's because you're easy prey. You're a nice little bit of meat here. Nice and small, I could soon whip him round. Perhaps that's what they do. I think, he's quite vulnerable, I'll have this one.
When you're up a tree, you're head and shoulders above all the buildings. You can see the contours of the land. There's something immensely liberating about that. And it's real freedom to be out there in the wind.
How do birds stay up in the air? It's all to do with aerodynamics, and that's far too complicated for me to go into now.
Some things aren't worth thinking about, are they like that?
Not all birds stay up in the air, do they?
No, they don't.
If you dropped an emu out of an aircraft, it wouldn't stay in the air, would it?
No.
The first time I flew myself, I was scared silly. But quickly started to enjoy it. It's not short of hard work. Every single day. Something new, something different, got to keep learning.
Birds stay in the air through magic. And there's all these scientists and naturalists who think they've got it sus, but it's all magic.
You think it's sort of Peter Pan, do you, Ian? Sort of they have a happy thought. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, birds are happy, and that's why they can fly.
It's brilliant. When you're flying down the M6, you can see truckers flash their lights and they see you. It's great. There's no better feeling, I think. It's really free, so it's good.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. Yeah. You gotta limber up, you gotta loosen up. You gotta get all that. You know what I mean? You gotta warm it up before you let rip.
Yes, I've never flown. Except I have jumped. I'm very brave at some things.
I don't like to take off, I like to land, do I?
Me personally, I do like taking off. The pull of it, right? When you actually take off. Yeah, I do enjoy that sort of thing.
Taking off the surge, the acceleration, the noise, the shaking, and then, once you're airborne and everything's stabilised, perfectly all right. And obviously turbulence isn't much fun, but it's not usually anything to worry about. I've never flown in really bad weather or had a bad experience. And if you've got that flying bug, then I don't think you really lose that.
It doesn't matter how many times you take off into a dawn or landing at sunset.
Yeah.
It's just a special thing.
I've got the best sense of direction. Anna's got no sense of direction. None at all, have you, Anne?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No, I haven't got a clue on direction, how to get there, how to get back now. No, I haven't got a clue.
I could probably lose her around the block. She wouldn't be able to get back. Definitely not.
Oh, well, would we say we've got a good sense of direction? I mean, we're blokes, aren't we? I mean, of course, we don't have to stop and ask for directions, ever. I mean, you never get lost, do you, blokey?
I've never been lost at all in my life. I've been temporarily misplaced from time to time, but never actually lost, so I'd say I've got a pretty good sense of direction as well.
Without landmarks, I'm lost. Without landmarks, I really am useless. And you take a right, and it's down there.
Myself, personally, I don't like flying because I don't like heights. But we've never actually ever been on what I'd call a long flight now. It's been 4 hours at the most, isn't it? Yeah. How I'd fare on a 7 or 11 hour flight, I just do not know. No, I don't think I'd handle it very well at all, to be honest with you.
Pigeons are vermin, man.
Sky rats, what I call pigeons.
You know what I mean? What we need is a few more peregrine falcons around London.
Sparrowhawks.
Sort them out, you know what I mean?
But it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller the areas we can go to. And yeah, it would be great just to be able to rort down London's high street, you know. Woohoo, check me out, everybody. I'm coming past your window. Oh, you know, that would be cool.
It's not the fear of flying, it's the fear of crashing.
I suppose once
Well, people say they're frightened of flying, but they're not really. They're just frightened of dying.
Funnily enough, I've only actually been flying about 4 times in my life. The last time I went to Italy in May, and that I found fine. I got over it, and I realised it was an irrational fear. But before that, it really was like a white knuckle ride. To be honest with you, I do have quite a few fears and phobias. I don't like heights either, but flying was a bad one for me for a while. But I'm fine with it now.
I don't think I've got a fear of heights. Maybe a fear of falling from a great height, but no, those being up on a high place doesn't give me the shivers. Other things do, but not heights.
Yeah, I've not got a problem with heights at all.
I actually fell through a couple of skylights on roofs, one at Bath Road at Brislington. I actually fell through the skylight and dropped through into the kitchen area. They weren't very happy though, not for the fact that I cut all my legs, it was for the fact that I had ruined all the dinner.
He had a bad accident about 2 years ago. Flying one, sort of crashed into the ground, didn't you?
Yeah. It was quite a turbulent day, and I started spinning, and I saw the ground coming up. I was going to crash near people, and broke my pelvis off.
Nasty.
The pelvis broke off, and it came up and it hit first the ribs.
Did the ribs break as well?
Yeah.
They did. The pelvis broke the ribs?
Yeah.
Oh. Oof. Lucky you didn't hit your head though.
Yeah.
Actually, I find that one of the most relaxing sounds there is, birds singing.
Yeah, lovely.
All green and slimy with googly eyes. Googly eyes and little thingies that go up in the air with round bits on the end. Antennae. Yeah, with a spaceship.
I don't believe in aliens, really. I don't believe in strange people and strange creatures and strange anything, because God wouldn't create anything that's not perfect and that's abnormal and strange.
No, I don't believe there's alien life on this planet. I believe there's something, but
Don't know
what we don't know. But I believe there's something that we've not been told about that.
What do you mean if aliens existed? Aliens do exist. Everybody knows aliens exist.
I think if aliens existed, I would think they're about that small. Some of them, these are the good ones, that small, and they have quite a big head, and they're very good at sums, and they have small legs and arms.
I've no idea what aliens would look like. They could look like anything. There might just be a ball of gas, or an idea, or a particular coloured light.
The whole conspiracy thing about aliens is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why on earth would they visit us to fly around in some farmer's back garden in the back end and beyond in Suffolk to just bugger off again? It just doesn't make sense whatsoever. And the whole thing about UFOs in the sky is just beyond me.
Well, what is a UFO?
You know what a UFO is?
What does it stand for?
I can't remember. Something. What is it?
An unidentified flying object? No, I've never seen one of those. I don't even know what one is.
So anything that you don't identify that flies past you is a UFO, isn't it? So basically, if it's a bird that you don't recognise, what's that? You get the book out, you can't identify it. That was a UFO, wasn't it?
No, you're being silly.
I've seen a UFO at a time when UFOs were being sighted in Lancashire. People were saying they had flying saucers going over the rooftops in a suburb of Bolton. And one news reporter claimed to have taken a photograph, but whether it was a genuine photo is another thing.
I came beginning of May in 1984 because it's a beautiful planet. You can see it from quite far. It looks very attractive.
It's not as striking, the difference that people expect when they ask, how different is it than home? I mean, you hate to lapse into this whole stereotype about how the English people are who live around me.
We have radionic equipment, which we call spiritual energy radiators, which have been in operation now for over 30 years. Every unselfish action is potentized by spiritual energy radiators.
You have here like shopping centers, which are like community centers nowadays. You have people on Saturday take their children to shopping center, like probably that's one of the elements of care and community program they have now. They develop, strong enough medication so they can keep you quiet and you can just walk around and look at the bright, shiny things.
Yeah.
Makes you happy.
I mean, they make these models of aliens. I mean, how can they make models of aliens when they've never ever seen aliens? You know what I mean? Is that is that a fuss? You know?
Yeah,
but is it?
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
you're allowed to have that imagination, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, how can they mould an alien when they've not seen an alien?
Well, if somebody asks you what's an alien like...
Well, I couldn't tell them because I don't know, because I've never seen one.
If they say, right, what do you think it looks like?
Well, again, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have a go at saying, I think they might look like this, or...
Well, they could be 2 foot tall.
Well, I think a lot of the portrayal of aliens comes from people who say they've seen aliens or they've been beamed up by aliens. Some of these stories people come out with.
Do you think they are stories, or do you think they're true?
There's no doubt in my mind that these people have had an experience.
No, I think that's nonsense, to be honest. I think people have either had too much to drink or they've just got very imaginative imaginations.
I reckon they've been on some sort of wacky-backy type stuff, I reckon, if they're saying they've been abducted by it. So
they glow in the dark, like,
The first few months in this country, I had to learn that you do not kiss everybody to say hello. And I did with the postman. I opened the door, there was the postman, I gave him a kiss on his cheek twice or whatever. And he was absolutely shocked.
I've loved the weather here. And I know that sounds crazy because everyone always complains about the weather here. Oh, it's very temperate. Living in the city, you hardly ever have a freeze. And when you do have snow, it's pretty and it melts when it hits the ground, which is ideal.
Yeah, I reckon there's quite a few of them roaming around the planet at the moment. And
Well, I think just the opposite. To be honest, I don't think at this particular time aliens do not exist. Until someone comes up with the proof that they are existing.
there's a lot of proof that they exist on other planets, isn't there?
You know, it may not be kind of like we might be looking at sort of, looking at things in other dimensions, other planes. It doesn't have to be travelling through long distances, things like the elves and the fairies.
Wacky people. Wacky people. Real strange.
This is home, everything is a bit upside down, but that's the way it is.
But it's becoming level.
I've learned that it's very important to be polite.
Yes.
You have to remember to say certain amount of thank yous and sorries. You have to say sorry to people
Yes.
You shouldn't really say. You walk on the street and there's a person walking in front of you.
Yes.
And suddenly those two people perform a dance saying sorry, and you don't know which way to move.
Yes.
I think that was something which I felt a bit bemused by that.
Yes. Mainly, I just watched Jeremy Paxman.
Now, as to whether they visited us or not, recently, I couldn't tell you. They might have. Who's to say they ain't here now?
My theory is we came from another planet. Yeah.
It's just pants. I don't believe in it.
I haven't got any circus skills at all. I can't juggle, I can't throw the knife at the lady, I can't tame the lion, and I can't crack the whip or jump into the small bucket. Can't do any of those things.
The thing that excites me about performing is that it's a release of any tensions that you might have inside you.
Ooh. I'm not sure whether it does excite me anymore, whether it's just the money.
Oh, it does me. The thing that excites me about performing really is the fact that you're doing something good, you're making people laugh.
Except the ones that walk off.
Except the ones that walk off, and.
It's a kind of two-way thing. Seeing people enjoy and just connecting with them, you know what I mean? I kind of like that about it, really.
You've got to communicate with the audience, but not to look at them, because you are apart from them and it will break the illusion.
I normally try and interact with an audience, but with 800 it becomes really difficult. But I actually think I managed. And that's an amazing feeling to just see that you're making an impact.
Like I was doing a job in Brighton recently, and then had a real buzz about it. And then I was in Suffolk or somewhere like that, doing an agricultural show, and people had come to look at the cows.
I had to stand on one leg and do a raspberry, go arse over, what's it, in front of 250 people. And I bonked my head. I thought it was a goner. And I heard them as I hit the floor go, and it was weird because it took off. I just flew. And I was just so embarrassed. I was like, no, I'm fine, just get back on, I'm fine.
We spent a huge amount of time when we were on the road exercising. We would stay up all night long practicing our handstands. We used to spend hours balancing and tumbling and helping each other learn tricks and use our bicycles, that sort of thing.
I can do nothing like that. I can't even juggle.
Well, can I? I juggle with two things, but not with three.
That's not really juggling, is it?
No, it's chucking stuff up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from doing a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga, trying to get my foot behind my neck and stuff like that, just to kind of loosen the old gizzards. Everyone used to get down and do bang out 20, drop and give me 20. So we used to do that. And then all stick our knuckles together like loads of bravado-y kind of, blokey business, and put your knuckles together, things like that, really, yeah.
You need to warm all those areas up, your body, and then moving on to your voice. And I start to hum a kind of there's opening your voice and going,
Many men, many men, many men, 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 many men, many men, many men, men, men.
In Tooting Two Tutors Astute, try to toot to a duke on a flute.
Paba à moi. Toddler rigger.
Oh, that kind of thing, you know, it's all kind of croaking out. But it's it opens up your voice, it relaxes and strengthens your vocal cords, it warms everything up.
I don't find the clowns funny. I do begrudge them coming on. I find it quite insulting.
No, what I enjoy about clowns, I think they're very talented actually, because when clowns get together at the circus, they can do things that are very funny, like they can throw custard pies at each other and things in a very funny way to make a lot of people laugh, and you have to be very talented to be able to do that. You have to be an entertainer.
No, oh my goodness, no way. They're so horrible. They're really frightening, and I think a lot of people are scared of clowns.
And they're very funny, actually.
If it's badly done, it can be very sad.
Oh, it's totally embarrassing. Yeah, I don't like clowns.
It doesn't work out. You feel pity for them, and that's like so awful.
Clowns are creepy, aren't they? They're not funny at all. They're just weird.
They don't look like they're happy. You know, the way they're painted smiles and their hair. And I don't like the music, that that horrible roundabout music with, clowns aren't not my...
Slapstick just isn't funny, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? A car falling apart and somebody falling over. It's like...
The one I first saw when I was a little kid was called Doodles. Yes, I like the clowns. I like slapstick.
One of the things we least like about what we do is
working with each other.
Yeah. You're constantly having to travel with each other, work with each other, be creative.
Do interviews.
Do everything together.
If there aren't a few butterflies around in the tummy before you go on stage, you're probably not going to give a good performance. You've got to be keyed up.
You'd think after all this time I wouldn't, but yes, I still do. I still freak out and panic and fear, the audience reaction to me, and then I get over it.
You feel sick sometimes. But as soon as I go on stage, I think, well, this is it. I can't turn back now. I'm on. Oh, God, here comes the light. The light's going up. Inside, the real me is saying, oh, my God. Here we go. Why am I doing this? I love it when I'm doing it. I know I love it when I'm doing it, but why am I doing it? I'm glad I didn't have too much to eat.
We did a show a couple of years ago, and 8,000 kids saw it in a week. We had about 1,000 kids per performance. And the kids were like, they were 8 or 9, screaming the blue murder. Oh, I've never been so scared in all my life. I must be stupid. And you get out there, and you look out and you think, they're just loving it. And they're completely engrossed in what you're doing.
It's knowing that whatever I take on to perform in front of the audience, actually, it comes through me. It's something that I take on, and it just kaboom.
Every time I went on, I could just feel the people laughing at me. It was fantastic. That gives me such a buzz. Such a hell of a buzz.
We turned down Freddie Starr, didn't we?
We turned down Freddie Starr.
Freddie Starr couldn't pay enough for us.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of our career, I think.
That was the
really
highlight of our career, turning down Freddie Starr.
That's something I hadn't really considered, appearing on television. But if the chance came, yes. Yes, it would be a new dimension. Yeah.
I am scared of heights a bit. I think I could get over it though.
The circus is it's a bit boring, isn't it, really?
British food, I think, is first class. It's somehow clean, satisfying.
English food is very bland, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not terribly spicy, I'm not either.
Oh, well,
I like the spices, and the spices don't like me, you know what I mean?
No, I like spices, and I like all kinds. I mean, there's nothing around here anyway, is there?
The trouble with the foods we eat now, there's too much fat in them. And the worst thing that happens in this country, there's too many people eat chips.
Ooh, egg and chips, egg chips, gammon, chip butties.
I mean, at lunchtime, instead of kiddies going down and buying a couple of apples or a couple of pears, what do? They go to the chip shops and buy chips. And when they get home at night, they have chips again.
You know, if I have too much chocolate, I get a bit fat, and I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, she eats really well for a diet. I mean, I pile weights on and she piles it off. So I think what she loses, I gain.
Try and eat healthily.
And she eats brown bread and all the rest of it. Apples and bananas, you name it, she eats it.
The main staple diet for runners is...
We had, in fact, we had wild strawberries, little wild strawberries. And of course, if it was acorn time, you could always eat an acorn. And even the thistle, you could always peel the top off of the thistle.
Are you talking about food?
Yeah.
I go to a restaurant, I like everything.
Everything.
You know, not one particular, like a Mexican or a thing. That's no good for me.
There are one or two foreign foods I do have. Rice pudding, proper pizzas. Like some of the deep pan pizzas.
The crust on top, amazing. And then that gooey stuff inside. But that sort of poo is a lot healthier, horse poo and cow poo. Cow pats are fantastic to look at. There with all those dung beetles crawling around inside them.
As long as it's filling and barely edible, I'll pretty much eat it. I'm always too hungry to be picky.
I didn't like to eat anything really that was contaminated by any insect. Although we put up with it when you're hungry. I never ate it, that I know of. may have done, I don't know.
Horse poo is very good, you know. But human poo and dog poo, that's poisonous, I think.
Yeah, if you eat a bit of dirt, it don't matter, does it?
No, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt anyway. In your lifetime, they reckon you eat a pound of dirt. God. Without even knowing.
I used to go around the back of shops, supermarkets, going down the back of the skips to get
No
the
problem.
stuff out. Yeah, I've eaten food that's been a week old and whatever. Anything from frozen to tins. I used to find all sorts of food in the skips. I was like liberating it.
And then there's elephant poo, which is enormous. And lion's poo, now that must frighten anybody off.
I don't catch flies because they eat poo, and I don't like poo.
Like eating dirt, you got your trace elements in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and it builds up your resistance to infections
Exactly.
as well. So it ain't a bad thing, I don't think.
Dirt on food. Dirt on food. What? Dirt on food can kill you. You can put one mouthful of dirty food in your mouth and you can be a goner. Can you ask me that question?
I think I've ate more lead shot and I've certainly ate oysters. I think that's probably, I know, it's probably why my brain's a bit funny or, yeah.
Dog and cat food.
It smells absolutely disgusting,
Well,
doesn't
it's
it?
very strong.
Horrible.
It's very strong.
Oh, I don't think I'd like to eat a sheep's eyeball or an intestine of a cow or something like that. But if you've got all these sort of intestines and all these sort of, you know, not so appetising bits of animals, then they mix it all up in a mixer and then they call it
I don't want to sound like a cannibal, but there again, we all went out for a meal and the chicken was so horrible. I could vomit all night and never stop. That was really, really horrible.
Horrible. Yeah, bloody milk cartons. Goes everywhere, milk, anything. There's too many bags in the world.
God help the people with arthritis.
Yes,
they never
they can't.
It's terrible.
Even to tea bags, even to get the stuff.
The
You know,
cellophane
it's
on it, you
ridiculous.
can't open it. The biscuits you can't open. All packages.
And a packet of ham, which I don't very well.
It's terrible. They're not none of the
By
packages.
the time you open it, you don't want the ham.
No. Oh gosh, yes.
I hate seafood. I really, absolutely detest it. I did eat a fish once, about 2 years ago, and I think they're disgusting.
Now, I you know, like prawns and all the shellfish, I mean, I know they're lovely, but I'm always afraid in case you get the one that will turn your stomach.
Whelks mussels, that's like eating slugs.
Is it?
Oysters and stuff.
I've never
Brilliant.
tasted a slug.
Ugh, sliding down your gullet.
But you don't eat slugs,
like
do you?
eating a slug.
Well, how do you know when you've never had one?
That's how I would imagine it to be.
I love salads. Same as I'd rather have a salad than a roast dinner.
We eat a lot of salad in the summer, don't we? More in the winter.
Salt and a bit of tomato. Can't beat a bit of salt.
Can't beat a bit of lettuce.
Well, I mean, I feel very healthy. The only thing that I have problems with is digestion, and I don't know what is wrong with my digestion. I mean, it's just like I just fart all the time, you know?
I've got a windy stomach. So like a lot of things I would not eat if it would upset me. But other than that, no, I'm not a diet person.
Vegetarian is all right, but when they cut out everything, because some of them don't eat, well, they're vegans, is it? Vegans, I think that's hard.
I've been a vegetarian a long time, and when I'm angry I sometimes lapse and just go and bite something that's made out of meat, and then I feel guilty afterwards.
Vegetarians, I think they're sort of trying to be better than the rest of us. You know, it's been proved, as far as I know, that the best thing to eat is a bit of yourself.
Actually, beans gives me wind and lemonade makes me burp.
What are you looking at?
Thank you very much.
Digging dirt up and then putting it on the compost. That's our favourite thing in the garden.
I do everything in my power to avoid having to go out in the garden. It's just not my cup of tea at all. Boring, dirty, cold, wet, generally, out here. Do you want to say something, Mother? No, please don't. Just go back in your little... I do apologise.
I love gardening. You know, they say in the garden, it's the closest place to God, you know. Actually, I'm waiting for a nice warm day so I can go and pull a few things up, you know what I mean? So it's like God, oh, hello.
I like gardening, but I'd like to do more. I'd like to have the time. I love to see things grow. I love to design things.
Well, a garden's a place for contemplation, isn't it? For reflection.
Gardening, eh?
Very apt.
Well, we don't really know much about gardening, do we?
We seem to get by.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gardening, you know, it's not an easy job. You know, when you're digging all day, you know, the old back tends to suffer at the end of the day. You make it as easy as you can, really.
I would call this a labour-intensive garden. Yes, it is.
Me and Nigel we like being out in the open more than we do actually indoors. I believe that anyway.
Yeah.
And I think what Nigel likes about it is he's got that sort of saying, like, you know, no, do it this way, and I think he likes that. But I think we get on quite well together. Sometimes you have a moan at me and that about it, like, but I mean, two minds are better than one. That's what I always say.
Sure.
But you know, we make sure that the job is done, and it's done to the best of our capabilities, and the job is cleared, and the job is actually spot on when we leave.
We have a yard that Des is very nicely decked out, haven't we, Bob?
Yeah. Well, it's all right.
I really like it. It's got loads of sun, got some ornamental grasses.
It's quite small, but it's nice.
No, it's not that small.
Smallish.
There aren't many ponds in the neighbourhood. And certainly in the height of summer, when it gets quite dry, sort of any body of water attracts frogs from miles around. Sort of a Lonely Heart pond for frogs, yes. Sort of singles bar sort of thing, yeah.
I get a bird's eye view of some of the most extraordinary gardens. Sometimes you can be up one tree which has 8 gardens underneath it, and all the neighbouring gardens are gnashing their teeth about this big tree, and the person who owns the tree has a very defensive attitude towards it.
We've got a little bit of decking, and then a bit of grass, and sort of
And a bit of
loads
slabs.
a bit of slabs.
Yeah, just got
What do you
everything.
mean? I pay it, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slabs.
And you can dig dirt, grass, sheds, bikes, flat stones.
What's your favourite plant?
I don't have any favourite plants. I like all the plants, except vegetables. I hate vegetables.
I don't like any plants except vegetables.
You only say that.
No, it's true. I know. I quite
like olive trees.
I can't see the point of flowers, really.
I like a good-looking garden which attracts all sorts of living things into it, to be a sort of magnet for life. I like contrasts of form and colour.
And cat pepper and dog pepper. And bird pepper.
It's organic gardening, that's coming a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All people are sort of... I noticed in our gardens that we visit that there's a lot of people with their own compost heaps and that's putting their own sort of peelings and stuff like that.
Well, it's like that garden we done up in Portishead. That one at the bottom, she had all that black stuff, and we opened it up, it was jet
That's
black,
right,
remember?
Yeah.
And that was that when we done all the shrubs and that in her garden.
Yeah.
And that stuff was really good. And I mean that's good for organic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it all helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're about number 1 on the hit list of slugs. Crawling and sliming across leaves and eating. You know, not very good. You just follow him on, you see these silvery trails.
I can eat almost anything.
Yeah, I think I'm the same too.
I won't refuse. And the only thing I don't eat is Turkish Delight.
Oh, I like Turkish Delight, see?
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I
and
like
lychees.
Turkish.
Lychees.
Yeah, what don't I like? No, I think I like most everything. Yeah, Brussels sprouts and that, I like them, but the missus don't like it.
No, not
after.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what she means.
Slugs, in my opinion, they're ugly looking things. But they're probably eating other creatures, aren't they? So they're probably doing your garden good to leave them.
I don't think they are actually doing your garden good.
Are they not?
They're eating... If they eat your leaves
I
and
know
things,
nothing about
they can wreck
gardening.
your plants.
Can
That's
they?
why they make slug pellets.
Oh well, yeah, you're
They
right.
don't make worm pallets.
Silly old me, I know.
I suppose the next one along is a caterpillar, which seems a shame when you think a caterpillar turns into such a beautiful thing. But a caterpillar can make such a mess of it, a lot of plants, with leaves munched away again.
Yeah, I like the idea of like a good crop of potatoes or a good crop of beans and peas. Whereas flowers
aren't useful.
I mean, they are.
They are.
They're useful in the sense that you
They're
can
pretty.
sit and enjoy it, but it's an awful lot of effort, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I must admit to having a very great affection for the plant that we call by the unfortunate name of dog's tooth violet. Sorry for that delay.
There is a shrub that I do like actually, and that's the burning bush. You ever seen them?
The burning bush?
It's called a burning bush.
A burning bush?
A burning bush it's called. And basically it goes green, and when it dies, goes to die off, it goes completely brilliant red.
Oh, like flames now.
Yeah, that's what they call it, a burning bush, because it actually goes from a nice dark green to a real burning red. And that's called the burning bush.
It turns to ash?
It just goes to like branches, thin little branches, and then it goes green again and goes all over it again. But the tree never goes away; it stays there all the time.
All right.
So it's a bush that's there, and I should say a shrub, as well as a bush, what is there all year round.
It's just mucky, messy, boring rubbish.
It's got a shed, which I've really made up about, because I've always wanted a shed all my life, and now I've got one.
To read pornography in.
Not to read pornography, to have a radio and listen to the football results with a paraffin heater in fingerless gloves.
It's not chocolate, it's not grass, it's not anything, it's dirt. I'm telling stories. The best effective medicine is... I have no idea.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. I mean, I'm always going to the doctors, and you get there and you find out, there's queues to wait all the time, isn't there? Most of the time, and then, doctors a lot of the time waiting in queues, and, most of the time you spend most of your time in the doctors waiting, don't you?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm one of these that goes to the doctor when it's generally necessary. I mean, I am one of these goes for every pill, potion and tablet that there is. If I know what's the matter with me, I expect the doctor to do something about it. I won't be fobbed off by them.
Doctors have always scared me because when I was born I nearly died. I have 50% chance of living when I was born, and was in a little incubator, and all my eyes were covered and I was yellow, which was awful.
I rarely go to the doctor. The last time I did go, he thought I'd died because I haven't been for such a long time.
Doctors and I are great friends. I owe a lot to doctors. They've kept me alive. I've seen a lot of them. They've come, they've prodded me from top to bottom, in and out, every end, every part of my body. And they've cut me open, stitched me up, and done a pretty good job on me all over.
I'm the kind of person that's sort of a bit of a hypochondriac, and if I get a little sort of nagging pain or something, I automatically think it's something really serious. But then I never go to the doctor, really.
And you never shut up about it either.
I know, it's just kind of like typical bloke, I suppose, where...
It's not.
Should we row about it now?
Well, it's these heart palpitations I get. You see, you never know when they're going to come, and they just... You got your heart jumping about all over the place.
Can't do with sputum, and I can't do very much with feet. I can't do anything with anybody's feet. I can't have all on doing anything with my own, and sputum really makes my stomach turn over. You know. I don't mind vomit.
I developed a funny lockjaw. You know, the dribble was coming out the side of my mouth. I couldn't speak, I couldn't chew. I just wanted to die. Took one look at me and said, "Oh, that's allergic reaction." He gave me my antidote and immediately my mouth just went, "Ugh." Back to normal.
That's what I got now. I've got throat swelling now. I've got, you know, got the tablets for that at the moment as well.
I've took a lot of tablets all my life, about 23,000, and I'm still alive. But at the end of the day, I think without them I'd have been dead.
I once had my head slammed in a door. That was good. I was saying goodbye to my friend, and somebody slammed the door on my head, and it was my birthday, and I had to have 5 stitches in my head, so I've got them as well.
I mean, I could have had a DVT, couldn't I, laid in bed all that time, but I mean, as I said, they gave me an anticoagulant. Anyway, I'm here to tell the story, so there's people worse off than I am, and I can walk about all right.
I remember having a severe cold which didn't shift, and I shared a flat with a couple of vet students who dosed me with Famil syrup, the main active ingredient of which I believe is creosote. So I spent several days smelling like a fence post, but it did the job.
You see, I've had a lot of things wrong with me. There was big problems with my eyes at one stage. I went in about my eyes on a lot of times and had to go to see specialists. And you see that, but what they do is they clamp your head in a big clamp, and they want to bounce things on your eyeballs.
I had an eye operation quite a few years ago. I flew very quickly after I'd had the eye operation.
Well, you can't, you know, I couldn't be doing with that, you know, and so I'm pulling my head out of this clamp all the time.
And it was a real concern. I shouldn't have flown because it put too much pressure behind the eye.
That's another occasion when they told me I could just go on my own way. So I got thrown out of there as well.
I've fallen for a nurse, yeah. I fell for a nurse once. Little blonde, beautiful little blonde lady. It was quite nice, she was. Yes. I used to travel to Birmingham to see her on my old motorbike.
I had a blood test the other day, but I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I look away when I'm having an injection.
I'm fine with injections into any part of my body, but I won't have them in my mouth. And the reason is that
I've always been completely the opposite. I love injections in my mouth.
Really?
I really quite like them. In fact, the more sort of intrusive the dentistry, the better I like it, really.
Well, I'm not keen on dentists now. I was the last in Britain to be gassed.
They didn't use enough gas, did they?
Yeah, I mean, I did come round. But that's when they first started phasing gas out, because they said gas is too dangerous.
The big black mask. Oh, you can see it coming towards your face, and the smell of the rubber, and having all my bottom teeth filled without anaesthetic. Dentists, just brutal, really brutal.
Dr. Bewers, he was very good, that boy. I mean, I think he was the first one that told me, you know, some of the many things that was wrong with me. You know, I had a problem with the inner ear and asthma, what I had for a long time.
Got a small scar on my forehead where a child threw a brick at me. Well, it seemed like a brick at the time, but... I've got a scar here.
I have no scars whatsoever anywhere. Have I? In fact, you count that as a scar. It's only a little...
Well, it is a scar, yeah.
Well, I don't count it as a scar, so...
Do you not?
No.
I've got a scar on my elbow, and a scar on my other elbow, and a scar on my knee.
On my face, my legs, my stomach.
And a scar on my other knee, my tongue, my head.
My arms, wrists, hands, everywhere. There is no one part on my body that does not have a scar.
I don't think I've got any other scars. Not physical ones, mental ones, obviously. I've got a lot of them, but you can't see them because they're inside my brain.
I was injured badly once. Somebody kicked me in the forehead. Being very young, I got up and carried on and didn't think it had done me much damage. For all I know, some of that damage may still be there. May still affect some of the things I do and some of the things I say.
I've broken all my toes, I've got a dodgy knee, I've busted both my ankles and bent my feet back round so they're next to my shins, broken my hand and my wrist, my collarbones 3 times, bashed my head, knackered my back. But it's all been worth it.
It's great. I love smiling, I love being happy and jovial, telling jokes, being the butt end of jokes, but hey, now I can do it with a mouthful of teeth and I'm really looking forward to it.
I've had crabs, they were good.
They got out of hand, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Ooh, hang on. Won't let anyone stick a thermometer. Ow!
Now it's a lot of talk, is what I find. Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?
I was wondering what you think about communication.
Communication?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
Sorry?
I say that's a difficult one.
I wasn't listening.
No.
No.
Describe communication.
What is communication? Go on. You don't just start smart. We do speak the language of it.
You've got the easy bit.
Yeah, the question again.
I remember the question.
I mean, the only thing that you can say about me is I speak lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and sometimes you can see this in the faces of the people that are around that I don't let them speak now.
You're Australian, not Australian, I know. No, what a Irish or French, I don't know what he was, I think. He come from a bloody broad, but he said a job of what he's bloody talking about half of the time, but he could speak a little bit of Asian, but not a bloody lot.
I just can't imagine that from an UG we've got, such a, like French, for example. French is very sophisticated, isn't it?
Well, French isn't actually as sophisticated as UG, if you ask me, but there you go, that's my view of the French.
There are people that say that the French, aren't very sophisticated, and there's other people that say they are, but an UG, if the French language came from that, it's a bit surprising, really, isn't it?
It would be UG, wouldn't it?
No.
There's a thing of you guys where everybody's called man, even a woman. If you're talking to a woman, you're going, alright, man? I mean, if I'm talking to my mother, I'll say, who, man? But, I mean, that's my mother. My mother's not a man. But, so, doing here, I've said it a couple of times, and it just slipped out. I'll say, if it's a woman, or somebody pushes in, they say, who, man, who are you pushing? Say, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. I say, now you're a woman, man.
Urban is the new language. Look at bling. Who's saying bling now? Everybody! Bling!
It's not just about the language, though. There's body language, isn't there? Which is
there is body language, I suppose, which is universal.
And I can tell by looking at you right now that you're looking a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous, and even though I speak the same language as you, I didn't need to know that in order to tell that.
Would you agree that 80% of communication is non-verbal?
Just thinking about that one.
Well, you were looking at me then and communicating. You were frowning a little bit, so you were communicating, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And I read your face to say that...
Yeah, I guess you could say, 80% is non-verbal.
Yes. Well, it's 100%, isn't it, if you're a North Sea diver mending oil rigs?
I'm just not biting.
As far as communication goes when we're working sheep, it can either be vocal or whistle. So, to go left, and it goes round to the right, and that turns the sheep to the left, and that's how it works. It's communication between three different animals.
Now that's a cuckoo. And that's a cuckoo that you can call a cuckoo in with that. That does that call twice, and then you have to wait, and the cuckoo that will reply back to you, and then you do it again twice, and that will bring the cuckoo all the way as close as you want. That you can call them in, and then of course you shoot them.
You know when a donkey's unhappy. If a donkey's bad-tempered, it will lay its ears right down like that. Bad-tempered. When they're happy, their ears are usually up or slightly forward like that. But if they're laid right down like that and they're swishing their tail like she is now, that's showing aggression. But their ears have got to be down, right flat on their body to show aggression. But normally they're straight up again, like hers, look. They're straight up. Or just flop tape to the side, like that. Now flop them out to the side. You see, they're up. But then they'll flop them out. But they're all up, pricked up, looking happy. Like that. But that's the only thing, you've got to watch a donkey when she lays her ears right down like that.
Don't whisper things. Don't defeat the object.
Do you have like communication issues between you?
No. We just don't talk.
It's all about knowing.
I tend to be quiet, don't I? I don't do much or say much if I'm...
Or you go, if you're angry, Wayne, you go, You always know, and I say to Paul, oh, Wayne's got a grumpy on.
On your nose, look, see? Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I always thought they were being aggressive.
No, that's showing affection. Now that's something you should put your hand in her mouth, look.
I make noises usually in the place of words.
What kind?
You make up loads of
Just
baby talk.
yeah, in the middle of things and things like that. But you understand, don't you, Bab?
And you say things like, I banged my knee.
All right.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but no, you put your hand in your mouth. Yeah, show her your tongue. Let's see your tongue. Come on. Show me your tongue. I want to see your tongue. There he is. Look, I got him. Come on, I want to see your tongue. There you go. There's your tongue.
They don't mind you doing that?
No, I wouldn't recommend him. No, I wouldn't say you do it, but no, they just trust me. You say that's what it is.
You need communication. I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always there's something you need or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really, it's really important. The communication is something.
You have to be positive. You have to talk. You must love one another. You must understand. You must communicate. You must read books. Yeah, for real, man. And we out. Peace. Yeah. Shut up, Brian. Okay.
I've been like that. I've been cut like some people cut me like that. And you know, why are you speaking so bloody fast? And didn't saw you talking too loud today. I can't hear what you've been talking about. Then you've got the trouble. I should turn around and you must be bloody daft then.
Do any of you do any impressions?
I used to do Dame Edna Etheridge.
No.
I did,
no,
but I haven't done it for about
no.
10 years now. Oh, I don't even know if I could do it now. It would probably sound awful. Can you do one?
Only a few.
Only a few. Oh, only a few.
I can do Kenneth Williams.
Go on then.
Oh, no, stop it.
Impressions are sometimes funny because there's like a caricature, exaggerated movement of ourselves. But it depends who does it, you know, maybe 90% of times it's not good. Like when I do impression of someone, it's really bad. Like doing, you know, David Beckham.
It's going on like that, you know, it's a kind of geezer from downtown, you know, South London, innit?
No, I'm afraid I can't do an impression of Naomi Campbell.
That one? Just like that, just like that. Just like that.
No, I can't do an impression of Kate Moss either, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Doing her just like that, shall we? Just like that. Or just like that, just like that.
What I hate is when people do that bloody Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro. Talking to me, shut up! You know, it's so overdone, it's unbelievable.
This is Robert De Niro as a New York cop. Give me one donut, 2 coffees. Okay, make that heavy on the mayo. I could do a Scouser.
I think Julia Roberts would be quite an American voice. Holy, how are you today? How are things going? That would be my impression of Julia Roberts.
I always laugh at the bloody goat. Oh, that sort of thing, yeah. Oh, aye.
Kippers, they're good, and I think they sound like this.
Well, then there's a bloody chicken.
Chicken is one of my best. I don't know why I'm so good at doing it, and I ain't bragging there, but I just am good at doing that chicken noise, and it goes like this. I don't really do animal sounds like that. I got the wife to do all that, see? Hey?
Come on, have a go. Do a goldfish.
Oh, what? Do one of they, I suppose.
As long as you don't think you're kissing me like that, there's another thing going.
It's just the faces you're making when you do
Yeah,
it.
but it's very hard not to make a face when you do the chicken impression.
I do a pig.
Come on, pass me a tissue, my nose is going. Quick.
Flamingo.
A cockatoo.
A cockatoo.
I
A cockatoo
they
or
have a cockatoo.
a cockatoo or a cockatiel? What's the difference?
A cockatoo.
It's a one's a
Animal
man, one's a woman.
Magic. What was the guy called?
Johnny Morris.
Johnny Morris.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Oh, he was
Johnny
good.
Morris.
Aye.
Well, that was
to
a
do all the impressions.
Was that cockatoo?
Or cockatiel? I don't know what
Cockatoo
the
or
difference is then.
cockatiel?
Cockatiel.
Cockatoo. It wasn't. It was cockatoo, man. It was a cockatoo. We're going for cockatoo on that one.
Cockatoo.
Yeah, or a
I'll-
cockatiel.
I'll go along that line.
Starling.
Oh, well,
Hey.
you never
Oh,
know.
I nearly said a
Distant
starling.
relation. Did you?
No one
Did
likes
you?
starlings.
It's a cousin twice
I
more.
don't like
Nice
starlings. Nobody likes them.
Do cuckoo. 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 I do one of them. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Can you do a cuckoo? Cuckoo. Cuckoo. I never really tried animal sounds, have you? Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
Why do people do impressions?
Dishes.
Well, perhaps some people got a gift for doing
Gift
it,
for
and
doing
they
it. They
just
see.
enjoy
They
doing
find
it.
it strange to
yes.
do an impression of somebody, so
Yeah. And I think
they can copy it
the
so
public
well.
think it funny. It's funny, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's why.
I think I used to be able to,
Yeah, because I mean,
like, impersonate people, and I'm just trying to think who the hell it was because I can't remember.
try doing that now. As long as it ain't too long. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. But owls don't do that.
Yeah, you go,
Yes.
doesn't he? And then you think,
and
well, what's
We've got a-
somebody's
we've got
trying to
owl,
send me a signal or
Yes,
something.
it's not a
But
very
we
because
haven't heard
everything
it
is
for a while.
quiet, and I hear that,
Oh, I
and
like
I don't
I like
it.
the sound of
No,
the
I
owl.
don't
The one you were listening
like
to
it,
in Come There was cuckoosh to
No, that's
cuckoosh
not
to the
from-
pigeon.
Yeah, over here.
Oh, Frank Spencer.
Betty, I'm having trouble. The cat's just done whoopsies in my beret.
Yeah. Can all do Frank Spencer.
Oh, I can do Victor Meldrew as well.
Go on then.
But I haven't done him for a long while.
Go on.
I don't believe it! What the bloody hell do you think this is? God's sake, I don't bloody believe it!
That sounds homosexual, Victor Meldrew. Well, he is, isn't he? Is he?
Yeah!
No.
Yes!
I don't believe it!
The neighbour's going to say them poor things have gone. They've gone round the
It's a
bend.
good thing
There'll be an ambulance
I'm not
arriving. It's taking us away.
It's cold.
His impressions are sometimes quite cruel, don't like him. Ah, yeah! Just being stupid now. That won't be used on the thing, will it?
Cuckoo. 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 Cuckoo.
The stigmas in most species of Nymphaceae, the stigma, which is the female organ, actually gets warm by 3 to 6 degrees centigrade and emits a smell, a pheromone. And the pheromone attracts the insects. And the insects shush what?
The phone.
But the phone's interrupting me, not me the phone.
Yes, but
Do you want me to stop?
I heard, through the body odor from others, we realize if we are genetically matching or not. And unfortunately, the way nature works, is the odor rather than perfume, you know. So the way it is, I'm sorry, I can't change it. So I smell, and I like to smell people as well. If I smell you in the street, don't be offended.
I went to an animal rescue charity in a very deprived part of northwest London. And I took one look at her, and something happened. It was one look, absolutely one look.
I didn't really like him actually, to be honest, at the beginning, because I thought it was a bit of a sort of know-it-all.
Oh yeah.
But the way he ate a sandwich, that was it really, and you could see his stomach. So yeah, that's why I quite liked him first of all.
You've got to be confident and optimistic. If you're pessimistic and always on the back foot, I don't think you get anywhere. So, you know, a bit of the old cockiness, you know, I think they all like a bit of that.
I am sexy all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, which part of you?
Oh, all of
exactly?
me, of course. You know, that's... So I feel like that when I get out in the mornings, you know, I feel very sexy. Most of the times you're not there, but they're not that, you know, can't help that, can he? But do you feel sexy?
No, particularly.
Well, it is early, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Of course I'm sexy. I can use my voice. I can tell you I love you. I can whisper this on your ear 100 million times and you will scream for more, more and more. I have a great smile, which you will never find anywhere else in this world.
It sounds corny now, but he used to always get the same chat line. I say, you know what it is? You know the best part of your body? It's a bit in between the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. All of you. I say, you're lovely. I said, I've seen some lovely lasses in my time, but I said, but you must have been right ahead of the queue in the audition with the good looks. But when I was saying all these things, I had my fingers crossed.
Biggest turn on for me. Lovely bottoms. They must have a nice bottom. I don't know what it is. Not too bothered about the front bit, but the bottom bit I do quite like.
I'd never worried about size or shape. I've lived with mongrels for half my life. And suddenly here was I, head over heels, in love, or what?
It's lovely being in love. It makes you all twinkly and it makes you all happy. And sometimes I can't think straight, do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking of him. Ooh.
If you're looking for a disco dancing spring rabbit, then you would find me a bit boring. But if you are the kind of person who likes to sit around and moan a lot, then you could say I'm a very good companion.
No, actually, he's not too bad. He's not that unsavoury a person. I think he's all right.
Thank you.
I'm really intolerant.
I'm not that unsavoury a person.
The thing is with you, your mother did everything for you. And then when you come up to me, you're ruddy bloody useless.
Obey, that's what the vicar said.
No, I didn't. When we got married, I did not obey.
Obey.
No, I didn't obey.
Obey.
No.
I have lots of trapped air that has to get out somehow. And that's really bad when you're sleeping with someone. And methane gas is lighter than air, so you end up on the ceiling. And so that's why I choose not to sleep with anybody, and that's why I don't have a partner for a long time. It's all not my fault, it's the methane gas fault.
I've got about, wait, let me count. 19 boys fancy me, but I don't fancy them. I actually fancy you and he fancies me because you're pretty, that's why. I'm really gonna get in for that.
I used to be very romantic when I was younger. I think everybody who's younger is very romantic, you know. Fall in love, thinking about the partner, doing different things to them in your head.
Romantic? No, not really.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
no, that'd be
You
nonsense.
are. Really, really
Nonsense. No, I don't think so.
I think you are. You're very thoughtful. You are.
You've never said that before.
Oh, I'm not on tape then, am I?
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit romantic. I like to
Romanticise?
lavish gifts upon my my wife, and and I do like to treat her to things that I know that she likes.
Trip down Tesco's.
Trip down Tesco's.
Yeah.
She loves all that stuff.
What about me?
Are you romantic?
You tell me.
No, you're not.
Aren't I?
No.
I am.
No, you're not.
You're just saying it now.
No, you're not. I'm not.
I am actually.
I do believe in love at first sight, but I'm not saying it does anyone any good. What happens after that? That's as much as I'm saying.
No, we've got three, you see, but there's one I can never remember her name. She does a lot of riding. I'm trying to think of a flipping name now. What's she called? Well, let's just call her Rosie for today. Yeah, Rosie. Good old Rosie.
I've pulled a muscle.
If there's something that annoys you, something that gets on your nerves, something that is the one thing that sets you off, that is a pet hate.
Pet hates. What I hate, pet hates. I don't hate too much. I'm annoyed by certain things, so can we go for pet annoyances? Yeah, instead of hates. Yeah, that's better.
If someone someone who's a noisy eater.
yes.
That really
Like me.
annoys me.
Like that, Joan. Yes, like that.
Oh,
That's annoying.
The pair of yous are annoying. Very nice, though.
Please, you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was
Yes.
very nice.
At the expense of our ears. Frustrating the life out of her.
I burst a couple of blood vessels there. I don't like that
Yes,
at all.
Joan, that's a pet hate.
I already
Doing
got
it
plenty.
again?
Yeah, annoyances. Annoyances. Yeah, what annoys you? You. Okay, fine. I think that wraps up that question. Can we move on to the next one now?
No, let's elaborate. Let's find out why I find you annoying.
It is very self-righteous, actually.
No.
You
No,
are.
I'm
You
not
always
having
think
that.
you're right.
No, no,
I like to
no.
get the last word.
No, that's not right.
Well, I think you do think you're right.
No, I've changed a lot.
But there you're doing it now, saying I'm wrong, so you're right.
Well, I'm hardly going to say, oh yes, I am self-righteous.
Not in a horrible way, though.
Oh, what's a nice way of being
I
self-righteous?
don't know, it's
then?
just you. I'm just used to you being like that.
Right. Self-righteous? No. No.
What do you think about speed cameras?
Eating?
Speed cameras.
Sorry.
Speed cameras.
Nope. Don't get it. I
Do
did.
you know what speed cameras are?
Cucumbers.
I don't drive myself, but if everybody obeyed the rules, the traffic would go much better and everybody would get there quicker. Like on the motorways, this happened travelling back from Snowdon. We were sticking to the rules and regulations of 40 miles per hour, and there were still cars coming past, and I was shouting and cheering to the speed camera saying, "Get that one, get that one."
Speed cameras.
Bees, honey.
No, speed cameras. You know, to catch cars if they're going to... Yeah, speed cameras.
No.
Because I can't stand listening to the radio, because the radio I find really irritating. I can't stand just having loads of noise in my head. I hate that. I just like to have silence in the morning, and if there's any noise, it's just me talking to myself.
Sometimes when you're talking, I feel I'm coming in a bit too quick before you finish the sentence, and I'm thinking,
We all do that.
I shouldn't have done
And
that.
the other thing is,
and
I find
I hate myself for
saying
doing
the words
it.
for you. Say the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like people breathing down my neck. No, I don't like anybody breathing down my neck. And it makes the hairs on my back of my neck stand up if I can feel somebody breathing down my neck. Get back.
Drunk people. I hate them. They behave like a gang of wild animals who are not animals. They're loud, they shout, birds fly off. They're singing hip-hop song that doesn't make sense to anybody. And they're wearing these white trainers and walking like orangutans normally, yeah? The hands is forward, they bend, and they're going like...
It's just like if you're driving down the motorway, now they sling bleeding coke cans out the window at 60 and 70 mile an hour.
Do they?
Yeah, that's happened to me 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months. All of a sudden some practice slings a coke can out the window and it goes bouncing along and goes past your window about 70 mile an hour. And hope as you're driving along that the thing don't bounce on your motor, innit? Because you end up with dents everywhere. You end up with hammer finish. Hammer finish motor.
The best thing you can do is leave traces of poo in the way, because they're actually not looking at all on the ground, they're looking at the girls around them. They step on it, they walk with it, then starting to smell. So they blame each other and they look at the sole of the shoes and that's it. They've been hit by us. And show them that you can be dangerous, but in a smelly way.
This is a funny question. What do you think your most unappealing habit is, both of you?
Energetic.
Unappealing habit.
Unassuming habits.
Unappealing.
I've no.
Sort of nasty habits. If you've got any bad habits.
None.
None.
Oh, no, we haven't any bad habits.
No.
Bad habits. When people say something, I pretend I haven't heard them, so they repeat it again. That's a bad
What
habit.
for?
Just do it.
Dave's got some bad habits. He goes like that with his jaw. Really annoys me. Like, Oh, Dougie does this? I mean, what good's that? Anybody? Well, I don't know what Dave does. It's as if like his jaw's locked and he has to go. God.
My habit is, and this
I
has
do
been
that.
explained to me by my children as well.
Yeah, this has been
When I
explained to me
say-
by my children.
When I say a joke, I go on to explain.
What's that?
Somebody's flushed the toilet upstairs.
The other few bad habits, I tend to scratch a lot, and I also, unknown to me, I tend to pass wind a lot when I'm in public, but that doesn't really worry me, because you've got to pass wind or you might blow up.
What's that mean?
Bad smells.
Yeah, that's natural, isn't it?
Not that much isn't natural.
You've got that many bad habits. I don't know if we've got all evening to discuss them.
I don't think I have I? Hey? What bad habits have I got? Pardon you?
Pardon me.
Yeah, but you can't not do it, can you? It's not like biting your nails, which you just do.
You don't have to force it so much.
Don't force it, just...
You do. Like that.
It's not true.
hate spiders and spiders and spiders.
As I say, I think we're being used by people. Our tolerance is being used by people for their own ends. I was most annoyed with the election of the last Labour Party. Weren't really bothered about what they did.
Excuse me, can't park there, mate. No, sorry.
How often do you get out and about in the grounds?
There was a time when I was a young man that I used to regularly go for long walks around, but I don't often go in without somebody telling me which way to go.
From here you go out in front of the house, up towards Park Hill, possibly where you came in. Did you come down the hill? You probably came down the hill. But instead of going up the hill, you turn left through the no entry, so you're going up the no entry the wrong way. Go up to the safari office, just say to the person in the safari office, you're going up to see them, and they'll send you up. Either you'll go up the back road round, or you'll go in the same way as the public, and whoever's on, whoever you want to talk to will be there.
I've been here just over a year now in the safari park.
Have you always been into animals and stuff?
Yes, I lived in a game reserve for about 14 years before I moved to England. So you get used to the animals around you.
I have been living here a while, so actually I find that it's quite similar in the way that there are a lot of foreign people and the people are really friendly. So obviously I find this place nice to stay here.
I do like Catherine, the zebra, Katie rather. She looks like she's like the zebra equivalent of like a tennis ball that your dog's had for years, and he's bitten all like the fluff away, and you've just got that like hard black rubber under surface with a couple of patches of what used to be the outside of the ball. She's so old now, bless her, she's losing her stripes.
I'm very, what's the word? What's the word, Jeff, when women sort of are frightened of me? What do you call it? What's it called? Come on. Oi! Yes, you said to me, English women don't like me because I'm what?
You're too much of a threat.
Too much of a threat. I give out sexual appeal.
The hippos don't do anything. 22 hours a day of sleep and 2 hours of eating. That's about it. They are so bone idle.
No. I kind of suck up to the boss, so I ain't got to do any work. I just get to sit out back doing nothing all day.
Oh, my daily routine, right? I get up at about 7 o'clock and I'm usually in work by about 8, and that's quite good because it's quite quiet between 8 and 9. And then I run around for about 12 hours and then come home again.
You'll end up having a laugh all day because of the fact if you didn't, you'd end up crying. But yeah, it's cold, muddy in the winter, but of the summer, obviously, your muscles are big. You feel a bit sure of yourself, like the old sun comes out, everyone's a poser, and yeah, it's have a laugh, and then home, sleep, and that's it. That's it really, it's just, good.
Do you get lots of problems with the monkeys putting cars to pieces?
It depends on what mood the monkeys are in. I mean, if it's really hot weather, then you say if you see any monkeys doing much damage.
Or they whip windscreen wipers off and things like that.
But it depends on what mood the monkeys are in completely to what damage they do.
The Volkswagen was the make that came to pieces the easiest. And the old Triumph Acclaim, if you had one of those, when it went out, there wasn't a lot left on it afterwards.
I think sort of the great apes are capable of thinking it up to a point.
but they can't follow a chain of thought very far. The concept that
male monkeys like red coloured cars because female bottoms are red when they're in season. They sort of shine a bit more.
Blanky check pen. Here we go.
What's the matter?
Sophie's eating a mouse.
We don't really get involved with the food side of things. We don't actually eat here as such. You know, we've obviously got our own home life. We go home obviously to sleep when we've got to sleep. Specific sort of. Hello. All right. Have a cup of tea. That's right. Yeah. Come to the back door. Somebody will meet you there. Okay.
Well, I once set something that had fallen down in the, or been knocked down, I don't know quite how it came to my plate, in the safari park. And that was an antelope of some kind and had a special name, but I can't really remember what it was. And that, I think, we all had a portion of it somewhere around the estate.
You can guarantee someone will come up to the fence, won't they, and go, "What type of animal's that?" and think it's really, really, really funny. They do, though, don't they?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a monkey? Maybe I just look weird.
Maybe you do.
Right, yeah.
No, it does happen, yes.
It's when they stop whistling and looking that you start worrying, you know. Your face.
We should have started this early, you know. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Come on, Brian.
Please stop looking at me like that.
I'm not looking. How do you cope? I'm so sorry. How do you cope?
Look at you making me laugh.
I'm not. It's you.
No, sorry, I employ artists to do all the...
I'm hoping to get a working permit to stay working in the safari park, but unfortunately I don't know yet, so it's going to take about another 6 months for me to find out.
Oh no, I'll definitely stay here. It's just easy work. Yeah, I'll stay for quite a while, I think. Can't really be bothered to do anything else.
This summer is going to be the last summer I'm going to be here. I've been here a while, and really, I haven't traveled as much as I would like.
Usually got a truck whizzing by so you can jump in that.
We went to Bath yesterday. I think it's just an amazing place.
Do you know how old I am? What do you think? I won't be cross, I promise.
I can't speak Mula.
Oh, come on. Mouth it. Next.
Do you know the way out? No idea.
We were following you.
No, we're trying to find a way in. We know where the way out is.
We don't know the way out.
This isn't the way out, though, is it?
There's a Royal Marines here, and then there's the prating of the hounds, prating of the sheep, cattle, horses, all right, and pigs as well. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah.
could I explain what the county show is? The county show is a social occasion for people who live in the countryside. They bring their best farm animals to the show to compete with each other. And it's generally a big social occasion where people meet together and they go and have a look and chat. And it's all good fun, really.
Well, we're very fond of the Bath and West because they always make you welcome, and here you get free straw for the cattle, and everybody is helpful, and you get paid for the milk here, which you don't at some shows, and it's nice to meet your friends.
I wouldn't say it's a great social side to rabbits.
Well, no. You do meet a lot of...
meet a lot of people. We're all friends because we're in the same club.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been involved since I was 3 or 4. My parents were both very horsey. I'm planning to go totty hunting a bit later, but that's after I've jumped my class, because otherwise I'll run out of time. And I'll get in trouble by the parents because I haven't done my job properly, but plenty of time for everything.
Things have changed a terrific amount. Yeah, they really have. You know, things were a lot slower, and there wasn't the rush and tear that there is today. There wasn't, you know, and...
Well, donkeys are so intelligent. A lot of people don't think they are, but donkeys are so intelligent, it's unbelievable. They're almost as intelligent, I would say, as a dog.
We've got one donkey that came from the middle of London. That got too much for his owner. We've got another donkey that came from Ross-on-Wye. We've got another donkey that's came in with another donkey, and then we've got another donkey that came with the little donkey that we've got.
Anybody standing there like you hasn't the faintest idea what we're talking about. It's all it's a word. What's the word? No. Other people wouldn't understand what we're talking about. They wouldn't. To watch the eggs being judged, people say, "How would you judge an egg?" But to some people, eggs are so important, and to get them just right, other people just eat them on breakfast. No.
My main reason for being competitive is because I know the more I win, the more girlfriends I'll have. And the more girlfriends I have, probably the more I'll win, because the more support I'll get, just as I go in a big pressure class. So the idea is to keep winning and keep gaining lots of girlfriends at these shows.
So first prize goes to number 116, Bowsdown Alpacas, Oxfordshire.
The judge we've got today is from Peru, Dr. Julio Sumar, and he is one of the best regarded judges in the world, and he's come here especially from Peru to judge today. Only I think he's going to be here till midnight at this rate, so...
You're all in a line, and the judge is walking up and down behind you, and then walks up and down in front of you, and then he moves up and he pats or slaps on the back of the animal that's the winner, and that animal moves forward. So you're there, and he moves towards you. This is it. And then the bucker turns and goes up the other way, and then he comes back. And it's a terrific feeling when he slaps, and then the crowd all applaud, and it's great feeling.
Oh yeah, it's like a drug. It's like you've had a large scotch suddenly, and then you go on to having a whole bottle, and you keep coming back for more, and you want more, and when you get more, you want more, and you feel quite elated afterwards and really excited. Yeah, it's really good.
I think you could say that show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser.
If you keep waterfowl, number one, you're gonna need a pond. Especially if you keep white ones. But if you ain't got a pond, and you've only got little dishes and buckets, then everything's all mucked up. And then it's 10 times more work.
A little bit disappointing in the results, because the best eggs for the show were actually duck eggs. And I did really well with my chicken eggs and got lots of prizes. But I've been beaten by duck eggs, so it's a waterfowl against chicken, which is disappointing.
You're trying to maintain a standard to get the ones which will go on to the next stage of breeding, and so it's constant selection towards perfection. Breed like rabbits, forget it. Hell no.
All the pigs here, of course, are pedigreed. We can go back generations. A pig without a pedigree is just a pig.
And there's no problems with the confirmation that any aspect of it. The animal is a well-conformed animal.
You do occasionally get people cheat. They use the same eggs for more than one show, or use them for quite a few shows in some cases, but you normally get caught out if you cheat. They hard boil the eggs so that they don't go off and use the same eggs again and again. Or
buy them.
Yeah, there may be people that buy them. I don't know. I don't buy my eggs personally.
No.
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 Not
I've
at all.
Never shown eggs. Only when I was forced to once.
When you're checking out the competition, you wait until they all go back to their truck and trailers for their evening meal or whatever, and then you come up and have a good look round late at night in the twilight hours.
There are stories about cows that have been milked out and in the middle of the night, and bulls that have suddenly gone lame and all this kind of capers, and blown up with wind because someone's put someone in the food or whatever. But I mean, that's a kind of their stories, and that happens very, very infrequently.
We've had one or two very slight instances over the last 5 years, but in the old days, when there was... I'm just giving an interview to a gentleman who's doing a TV series, Carl, and I'll give you a ring right back, all right? Okay. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
I don't think they'll ever die out. It may do in time, but because really, when you've got animals, little ones like to come and see it all the time. They always want to see a pig or a sheep or a rabbit. So that's all I'm going to tell you anyway. If you want to know any bloody more, you better sort that out yourself.
I hate going to sleep, I do. Just do. I just hate going to sleep. I do. Just hate going to sleep anyway. I do. I didn't like going to...
How many hours do you reckon you could stay awake for?
Competitively, 24.
Well, yesterday, I can use as an example, I stayed awake for 8.5 hours. I did.
8.5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the sleep is very important. For me, it's very important. For me, sleeping is very important. I think it's very important, the sleep, for me.
People think that when you work on nights that you'll automatically go sleep in the daytime because you're so tired. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. Because you're really, like, you come home at 6 in the morning, I'm buzzing, aren't I? I probably could go to about 10, 12. I probably could stay awake all day, actually. But then all of a sudden, bang, it hits you like a wall. What happens is, if, say, for instance, It turns into a grumpy old... That's what happens. What was I going to say then? I had a good one then. Oh, sorry.
I don't go to bed till late. I couldn't go at 9 like you.
You couldn't?
No.
9:30 and that's it.
Lunchtime?
No.
No.
Normally, I'd have 6 to 7 hours sleep. I think it's advisable to have 7. I know that if you have more than 7 or less than 7, you're likely to die earlier.
If you're tired enough, you'll sleep anywhere. Doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's warm and dry.
That's all you need, really. Slept in fields, stuff like that.
Tunnels.
Under motorway bridges.
Slept in the middle of motorways, actually, a couple of times.
Yeah. It does something queer to folk, doesn't it? I mean, they might be a bit more sparky, and they might be in the mood for love.
I could sleep 12 hours, easy. I could go to bed now and not wake up till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
5. Now the phone's ringing.
Right. Hello? Hello? No, I'm sorry, she died ages ago. You need to update your records a bit better. She didn't. There's only the neighbour that moved, but they don't like to.
I heavy breathe at night.
No, man, you snore.
I don't snore.
You've always snored.
No, I don't snore.
You snore.
I don't snore. I don't snore.
You do.
Why
are you doing that? I'm telling you, I've heard you snoring, right? And you won't believe it. I'm not gonna lie to you about something like that. You snore, man.
I don't snore.
You do, like a pig.
I've never heard a pig snore.
It's diabolical. I'm not kidding. I'm not being nasty or anything. I'm telling the absolute truth. It wakes me in the night. It did early this morning, round about 4 a.m. And I shook. Well, I didn't shock Jackie. I said, Jackie, turn on your side, because when she's lying on her back, you see, her head will flop back, and she'll go. And I thought, oh,
you're nasty about me.
No, it's not. I'm not being nasty.
I can't help it, can I?
No.
I can't help it.
And you had your adenoids out.
Yes,
haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, and my tonsils, but I can't help it. I've got to lie on my back because I've got a bad back.
If I ever sleep on my back, I have those dreams where it's like you can't move. Really scary dreams, like you're half awake and half asleep, and I really hate that.
You never ever sleep on your back, do you?
Not anymore.
Well, that's.
Well, there is such a thing as nose pegs.
Is there really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Which we'll have to introduce into this household.
I'll go and sleep in the other room if you want. Or you go and sleep in the other room. Yes, why not?
If you don't get your sleep, don't approach him. Really, don't approach him until he's. It's seriously, forget about brown grizzly bears, but they don't do damage.
What about you when you're tired? You're just like the living dead. I talk to Francis Comatose. Can't do that.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that crazy stuff.
Mummy,
Yes, darling.
I'm really tired.
Do you want to go to bed? No, he never goes to bed. It's the middle of the day, Michael.
I just like Mum telling me it's too early.
In the day life, you hear a little bird tweet and it sounds really lovely. But if that little bird is tweeting at 11 o'clock when you're trying to go to sleep, you want to kill them. But in the morning, you think, oh, lovely little bird.
For me, it was because it was.
Because I went to bed the other day and that little was like there tweeting in that tree and I want to get it down. There's a whole family in there.
Yeah, you will then decide that it's almost like
Shut up.
Okay, Stephen, have you ever sleep talked?
Well,
How do I know?
How's he going to know if he sleep talks?
You should ask her that question. She.
No, sometimes Stephen's like tossing and turning, and I think he's probably running away from somebody. He's probably doing something that he shouldn't be doing, or he's usually, yeah, he does something. So I don't know what he's doing.
Open the door, Daddy. I'm sleeping. Daddy, let me in. Daddy, let me in. I ain't getting out of my bed. You know what time it is? It's 12 o'clock.
Do not make eye contact.
Hay. Hay, lots of hay and cows.
Do you dream?
Dun ho?
No.
Run home?
No.
Bang ho?
Dream.
Oh, yes, I dream.
Yeah, they're terrible, aren't they?
Oh no, I always dream the same dream and I can never get to the bottom of it.
Better go back to sleep.
Yeah, go back to sleep.
Mummy,
Yes, darling.
when this going over?
It will be finished soon.
I'm really tired.
Then go to sleep.
You can come here.
Well, I need
Come here and
to
have a
suck
good
my
look.
thumb.
Yeah, suck your thumb then.
That's all right.
Well, when do you get this microscope off thing?
Get the microphone off now. Know what? Then you don't have to worry about it. You finished your contribution. You lay down and suck your thumb.
I keep getting up. I do. I'm tired. I should have went to bed. I just hate going to sleep. I do.